Back in 2017, Dokkan did something unprecedented at the time. They allowed the players to vote on the next LR coming to the game in something called the Legendary Election. And the slogan was even, the next LR character lies in your hands. The way it worked is that they pre-selected 15 characters, and then we voted on our favorite. The results weren't very surprising, and they provided us with the first, second, and third place winners, with first going to Vegito Blue, second going to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and third going to Beerus. Now that you fast forward 6 years, we've had several of the options from this LR election become LRs, but surprisingly, even after 6 years, there are still some that haven't been made. Let's take a look and see why that is. Now, it's also worth noting that they included specific scenes for each character. So for our first option, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, they chose episode 57 where Goku finishes off Ice Shinron and fights Sin. And since the LR election, we've had both the 4-year anniversary Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the 7th anniversary Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, which pretty much covers them for an LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And also, I feel like definitely hits this scene that they were specifically showing here. Now, next up is Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, which we already know was the winner of the LR election and is the STR LR Vegito Blue, which even crazier to think that that was 6 years ago. So some of you watching this may have farmed up that Vegito Blue, not even realizing the players voted for that unit, and that unit exists because of us. Next up is Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, which doesn't exist. And this particular frame they use is so sick. I need this unit to be an LR. I need that frame to actually be the animated card art. And it's really crazy. We've had a lot of Buu Saga related celebrations, of course, since 2017. And somehow Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks has never been chosen as one of the LRs. Now, we did get the Int Transforming Gotenks that does cover this a little bit. And we did also get a side banner unit, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks with Piccolo, but still no LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. A little weird. Now, this next one is one of the controversial ones on the list when you talk to people that also love to keep up with this list and mark things off. And that is a Trunks, because specifically, as you can see here, is a Sword of Hope Trunks, which even though Trunks has so many LRs, it's actually absurd how many LR Trunkses we have, but none of them are actually this specific moment. So for that purpose, I'm not going to mark this off. Yes, we have a Trunks, but no, we don't have an LR Sword of Hope Trunks. So despite even having a moment that was right before this, this is still technically not an LR. However, on the flip side of that, Fusion Zamasu here, and yes, spot on. Int LR Zamasu is this unit through and through. And also, fun fact, one of my absolute favorite releases of all time in this game. That unit is so much fun. Now, this next one is maybe the most controversial one on the list. Almost as controversial as you not already liking the video and over 50% of you watching don't subscribe. But that is LR Kid Buu. Where is he? Why has he not been made into one yet? Same difference with Gotenks, even more so and more amplified. Kid Buu, he's like the final boss of Dragon Ball Z, and somehow legendary moment, right? That's the whole point of LRs. I felt like at the beginning, not so much anymore, but one of the most legendary moments in Dragon Ball Z is obviously Goku finishing off Kid Buu, the final boss here, and he has no LR. What? I think there's only one other that I am just like, as what are they doing about, as this one right here. Katsuki, Bandai, where's our LR Kid Buu? Next up, we have Metacooler Army, which spot on lives and breathes in the form of the Int LR Metacooler Army. Like, that one could not be more perfect. Check it off the list. Golden Frieza. If you want to be super specific, they actually didn't do this one because this is from the series and not the movie. And the LR AGL Golden Frieza we got is actually a movie boss. So he's actually from the ROF movie. However, there's no need for having two of those as LRs. That's that character. So yes, boop, boop, we can check him right off the list. Next up, we have Beerus. Again, third place winner here, which with some of these options, I was surprised Beerus beat out Gohan, Trunks. This is an interesting one. I see a lot of people that write off Beerus and Whis because Beerus and Whis came out after the LR election, but this was specifically Hakai Beerus. And to me, that is very distinctly different from a movie boss LR Beerus and Whis. So with that in mind, and with how cool of a moment I felt like this was in the anime, I'm not marking Beerus off this list, and I fully stand by the fact that you shouldn't either, and stand by the fact that there should still be another standalone LR Beerus made that encapsulates this Hakai moment, because that would just be so sick. Now, next up, another one that is spot on is Team Bardock, and quite literally, again, could not be any better because LR Intelligence Team Bardock is right there. So check them off the list. Now, next up, We're gonna come back to that one. So we have Roshi, Kid Goku, and Kid Krillin. Still non-existent in the game. There's like no way to even... No, which is surprising due to the releases we've received in the last year or so. You would have thought they would have made a smaller celebration focused around the original Dragon Ball and made this moment into an LR. Another suggestion here is that this could also be a good one for them to use for the friend system, which I think they forgot existed, and give us our first new friend system LR in 5 years. And speaking of friend system LRs, that's the next one on the list. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, which they specifically say from Wrath of the Dragon, which is exactly what LR Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 are from, and were our last friend system LR released in 2018. What's up, Akatsuki? Then we have Cell and Cell Jr. And we actually got this spot on in the form of LR Physical Cell and Cell Jr.'s almost on the dot a year after the LR election was a thing. And then after them was Demon King Piccolo. And again, pretty spot on in the form of the World Tournament LR Tech DKP. I don't really know that you could ask too much more there. I know a lot of people, though, really want to see him come back as a summonable LR. And I have to imagine some form of a Dragon Ball centric mini-ish celebration is in our future, whether it be Golden Week, one of the one-offs, not necessarily worldwide, not anniversary, and probably not New Year's, but one of the others throughout the year. So now let's go back to this one. And this is the last one on the list, and it is Ultimate Gohan. Now, I've seen a lot of people mark Ultimate Gohan off this list because of the superhero Ultimate Gohan that we got back in December. But again, there is a stark difference between Buu Saga Ultimate Gohan and superhero Ultimate Gohan. And I think this moment right here, very specifically, which a massive shout out to Strojam and Iggy for literally creating this moment, animated spot on. Like, there's so much cool stuff they did with this moment specifically, so thank y'all. But it deserves an LR. My guess is Tech Ultimate Gohan is still so broken and does encapsulate a lot of what this moment is, but they could still build on it. They could still revamp it. Super Techs have definitely gotten better since his, and this is another one of those very key moments, especially I feel like in the character arc of Gohan, that it blows my mind that we haven't gotten it as an LR. And so I do not take superhero Ultimate Gohan as a check mark off this, filling that spot of Buu Saga Ultimate Gohan, not even in the slightest. So that leaves us with 6 characters from this list that have not been made into LRs yet. And fun fact, we learned recently that these characters are typically developed about 6 months out from the time they're actually implemented into the game. And on top of that, again, this is from interviews with the producers, they are also usually 12 or more months out in terms of their actual schedule. So to put that into more practical terms, during the 7th anniversary, they already knew what they were doing for the 8th anniversary characters. And that also means that right now, the 9th anniversary characters have already been selected and are likely already being developed and worked on. And so knowing that Akatsuki has a list that is spanning that far out into the future, I think there's actually a pretty good chance that some of these LRs could absolutely be on their release schedule. So I want to rank them from least likely to happen soon all the way to most likely to happen soon. I think LR Beerus is probably like the least likely. I would love to see it, but Hakai is probably just a very special case and will likely take a very special circumstance for that one to happen. Next up, and I don't know why they hate him, but Kid Buu. I don't know what it is, but an LR Kid Buu just seems so unlikely. He's had so many just home run setups to be an incredible LR selection for many different campaigns and celebrations, and he just keeps not showing up. After him, as much as I would love to see it, and it might be the one I want the most, LR Ultimate Gohan. We just got the superhero one. They wouldn't want any sort of confusion happening between the superhero and the Buu Saga, so I just doubt we see an LR Ultimate Gohan from Buu Saga anytime soon. After that would be the LR Roshi, Kid Goku, and Kid Krillin. I think a Dragon Ball small celebration, as I mentioned, is in our near future, so I could definitely see this being a possibility. After that, LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I think this is a fairly likely one. I think we're going to keep seeing more and more Buu Saga related stuff. Definitely don't think they're done with Buu Saga in the nearest future, and LR SJ3 Gotenks seems right there sitting on a silver platter for them. And lastly, the most likely, because my god, does he have more than enough LRs in this game, as I've already said, is a Sword of Hope Trunks. And I actually have to imagine that some future related stuff is in our very near future. Too many futures there, because Int Goku Black needs a reason to EZA soon, and we also really need just a good lead for Zamasu. So there could absolutely be like a Dokkan Fest Goku Black coming up soon, and then a part 2 could be a Sword of Hope LR Trunks. Worldwide Celebration could be an entire future themed with Vegito Blue Part 1, Sword of Hope Trunks Part 2. There are a lot of opportunities for, I think, a Sword of Hope Trunks to show up in the very near future in this game. So who do you think will be the next LR we can mark off this list? And in the meantime, you can watch this awesome Dokkan video right here.